Channel, the Car Guy Channel. My name is Mike Hennessy. This show is all about cars and all four car guys. Get yourself a cold beer. Get yourself a cold beer, guys, because our show is... We are smoking! I'm Mike Hennessy, and you're watching the Car Guy Channel. I have an auto repair shop. I've been in the business for over 30 years. You name it, we got it, we built it, we've done it, we do it. We love this car stuff, and I hope you guys do too. We're going to have a lot of fun, got a lot of stuff cooking, so just stay tuned. You don't know what I got, what I got. Welcome to the Car Guy Channel. I say it all the time. We have a fantastic show, but I'm telling you, we got an actually neat show. Show's really about Hot San Jose Nights. It's all about charity. It's about Reid-Hillview Airport, where we held Hot San Jose Nights this year, and one of my good friends, Dave Cortez. If it wasn't for Dave Cortez, we wouldn't be able to do Hot San Jose Nights, and a handful of events is done through the whole Bay Area. Because of what he does for charity and how he sponsors people, it really helped our event work out pretty good. It was free to the public. Dave says I'm on board, and I would like to go ahead and help sponsor that event. I got a car on the show that I'm going to talk about. I have a car we're going to take a ride in the whole bit, and it's a 1984 Ferrari 400i with a 5-speed. I'm telling you, there's a lot to say about this car, and there's a lot of pretty cool stuff out there to do about it. Sit down, get yourself a cold one, because we got some pretty cool stuff to show you. She moves like a kitten to the lake pipes roll, and if that ain't enough to make you flip your lid, there's one more thing, I got the pink slip daddy. And coming off the line when the light turns green, she blows them out of water like you never seen. I get pushed out of shape and it's hard to steer when I get rubber in all 4 gears. Hot San Jose Nights this year was smoking! I'm telling you, we had bands. We had Dave Gooding with his band called Lion Eyes. They were the hit of the show, and they were fantastic. And there's a couple bands there that I'm telling you guys, everybody went completely crazy over. They actually thought that the band was a Carlos Santana tribute band. These guys blew everybody out of the water. They were fantastic. They did a great job. And we had a band that didn't show up earlier because of some medical reasons. They stepped right to the plate, took everything over. Rosemary Castro and her son and the whole band, you guys were absolutely called the Never Dull Band. And believe me, being never dull, that's exactly what you guys were. You were never dull. You stepped to the plate. We had a lot of fun. We were giving T-shirts up. Macy's gave us all sorts of. We threw 50 T-shirts out there. Trade wins. We had Walt come up there with me. He kind of chimed in, threw T-shirts out to the audience. We had a great time covering cars of all makes and all models, and we had nearly 300 cars at Reid-Hillview Airport in one day in one area. It was a fully blast. You're going to see the airplanes all against the back wall. Our gal that go ahead and set all this stuff, Lisa, she set everything up and had everything all dialed in for all the planes. They look beautiful. Next year, we got a big thing planned, and I'm telling you, it's going to be 2 times larger than what you have seen there today. The full crew, I think, went out of the way. We had food trucks. We had charities. We went ahead and gave away over 20 awards to some of our local charities. Take a look at some of these awards that we have up, and every car, and I mean every car, came to the event, was honored for being involved in all the charity events with Hot San Jose Nights this year. So be prepared for next year, where we're going to be working with Dave Cortez and, of course, with the Reid-Hillview staff. I've set this all up then again next year with my good partner in crime, Dean McCulley and Lisa Brickford. Guys, I think we're nuts, but we're signed up for next year in July. Second Saturday, Hot San Jose Nights features the S.T.E.A.M Fest. And sit down, be there. It is going to be one fantastic event. You know you make me want to shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my hands back and shout. Come on now, don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah. Say you will. Hey, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say Hey, if you
can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, and the home of the brave.
I know a cat named Way Out Willie. He got a cool little chick named Rockin' Millie. Oh, they can rock and roll and Susie Q. Oh, they can do that crazy hand jive too. Papa told Willie, you ruined my home. Said you and a hand jive got to go. Willie told Papa, don't you put me down, 'cause they're doing that hand jive all around town.
I want to thank Mike Hennessy for having this show. It's quite an honor to be asked to come and show my car. It was obviously very well organized. Love it. The food booths, the quality of the cars. Mike finally wearing different shorts for a change. Love that.
It's a 1950 Mercury. We've owned it for 8 years, and we enjoy sharing it with the public. A lot of old stories that are told about the car, how they grew up in it, and their parents, and so on and so on. So again, it's a lot of fun to show it.
This is our 2008 Tesla Roadster. We've had it for 5 years. Love it. This is my daily driver, and I almost wish that my commute was longer.
This is a 1946 Ford pickup that's actually got a 350 Chevy 700R Ford tranny, and it's fully airbagged all the way around, so I can raise it up when I'm driving and lower it down when I'm parked here at the car show.
The car is a 1969 Chevy Camaro. My wife is the original owner, bought it brand new. It's changed a little since it was brand new. It's been fixed up, the engine's different, landing gear's different. And the color is a new color, but it's the original color.
This has been a fantastic day. It's the first time we've been at this car show, and it's just been great. The weather's been great, the people have been wonderful, and we're having a great time. This is a 59 Austin Healey Bug-Eye Sprite, and it's getting quite a bit of attention at the show.
You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann, I came to the car show today primarily because I started doing business with Mike Hennessy, and he puts on this show. He's done excellent work for me. I recommend him. I have a 1967 Olds 442 Resto mod here. It is took out the 400 cubic inch engine. I bored out a 455 to 468. I put a Hurst to Tremec 5-speed manual in transmission, electronic ignition, and air conditioning in my air-conditioned 442 that reminds me of being back in high school. The first car that could beat the GTOs was the 442, so that's why I started with the car to begin with. Let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me. Come on a safari with me. Early in the morning we'll be starting out. Some honeys will be coming along. We're loading up the woodies with the boards inside and heading out singing a song. Come on, baby, wait and see.
Take a look at some of the beautiful golf courses that we're scoping out as we are filming through all our shows. We're checking out golf courses to hold a concourse event that we're planning to come up through Hot San Jose Nights and a handful of some of the hybrid cars. We're going to be talking about Monterey today, a little bit about the show, about a Ferrari and some of the things other things have done. And I kind of want to bring a little bit more class, a little different type of event for a different type of show. I think doing some of the concourses on some of these golf courses, this place here, I think looks pretty spectacular. Let's check out some more. Hey, I'm with somebody today that helps make a lot of our events do and a lot of our events happen all through the Bay Area. Dave Cortez, how you doing?
Good, Mike.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. You know, get politicians on my show. We don't get a lot of that. It's usually the car guys, but you're a little bit of a car guy.
A little bit, yeah. Kind of grew up with all of that, and you know, I was a teenager when Fremont Drag Strip was open. I guess they changed the name a couple years later to Baylands.
They did, yeah.
Wednesday night used to be Grudge Night, so that's where we were every Wednesday night.
So guys, don't give Dave cards and letters. Let's turn Reid-Hillview into racetrack, because I had a bunch of people saying, why can't we go ahead? Because back in the 50s, there's a lot of tapes out there, people racing on the Reid-Hillview track from one end to the other. But Dave, I don't think we can pull that off for next year. What we did at Hot San Jose Nights with the charity, and it was a great event. And you know, we went ahead and for the charities, we did nearly 20 honored 20 charity groups.
Well, you did a great job. You know, I've been to a few of those at Reid-Hillview over the years, and with your involvement this year, you just took it to another level. And when you do that, when you get those people out there, that many people out there, and that many folks that are willing to come out there with their cars and turn it into a great show, you can raise some money, and when you do that, you really lift up the entire community. Oh,
we did it great. We mentioned earlier about Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder helped us from the beginning to start out with the insurance, and of course to put these events on. Guys and gals, there's a lot of money involved, but Dave, why I'm having you here today is to thank you personally. The stage, the tents, the tables and chairs. And I know that you had something you said was pretty neat and said, Mike, if it's free to the public, we want the kids there. And we did everything free to come in. I thought it was a pretty good statement you made. It was good.
Yeah, and you know, we've done that for years through my office. We can't accommodate everybody, but when good organizations like that, like the effort that you put on, come forward and they want to borrow canopies from us, or any other things, we're willing to do that. We want to help you again next year, so I hope you don't give up on it. It's a huge event, and it could actually be bigger if you wanted it to be, but the main thing is to raise money and help people, I think.
Oh, raise money, and plus it was safe, there was no problems, it was fun, and everybody, and I mean the team was, but put this thing on, you guys are going to see all sorts of cars and stuff and people, like we said, the smoke and band going on, there were kids singing, but it was organized well, and my good buddy Dean and myself were running around with our heads cut off, but thanks again, Dave, I really appreciate all that.
Thank you for all you do.
your boss just came by, and I said, I never met you before, have I?
No, we haven't met.
We haven't been that fortunate, have we?
No, we haven't.
Now, how long have you been here?
I've been about a year and a half now.
Now, I asked him earlier, how does he hire? When you came in for your job here, what was your qualifications come in?
I just came in, basically had a good reference from my buddy Mark, and talked to Mark here for a little bit about just my overall car knowledge, and he felt comfortable with me.
Hey, what the hell is your car knowledge?
My car knowledge, I do a lot of four-wheel drive stuff, building some small projects right now, but...
So if a guy's got a 4x4 thing, you can help answer questions that one of these other techs can't.
Exactly.
Good. Now, how old are you?
I'm 24.
24 years old. Do you want to make this a career? Is what you're working on?
I'm trying to work into it, yeah.
It's kind of cool, though, isn't it? There's some money to make in it.
There is.
Plus, you got to admit it. This is fun.
It's fun stuff. It is.
Yeah.
I do enjoy getting up and coming to my job in the morning.
And the other thing is he gets a lot of his parts at wholesale.
Exactly.
We're probably,
project's a little easier.
And we're kind of our own enemy sometimes because, we're trying to get our parts going. But you learn what's hot, what's not, what's new, what's exciting, and what's new that works that don't work. From customers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Good, buddy. Good job. We'll be seeing you through, and you got my orders coming through in the car, so get that stuff at my shop ASAP. I basically take precedence over any customer.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Boy, Elijah, well done. Hey, we're back at the 7-liter, the Ford Galaxie 500 7-liter building for a good friend of mine, good customer. Now, we're down probably to the most exciting part, but probably the most frustrating part, and it's paint. Paint and cosmetics are always the areas where you get on a car, is where you got to be picky and really where you really got to make all the points to make things right. Part of the situation with this car here is we're going with a new paint. The paint on this car is midnight black. It is the blackest of black paint you possibly can buy in the industry, and it comes out from a company we're getting out of Cook's Automotive. And this paint is absolutely, and I mean black, it is dark black, and this have a gloss that you'll be able to see from the moon, which is kind of neat about it. It is a water base. And shooting water-based paint is a little bit different because the chemical consistency of it, it sticks differently than it does with solvent-based paints. Not to go into all the chemicals and all that, I'm not a scientist, but learning what we're learning about this type of paint. It's been on the market for really quite a few years in the technology, but when you apply this type of paint to the car, you just can't stop touching it. It's just so beautiful. This car was all done by hand in 400 grit before you apply the paint. Well, that's really not good enough for this particular black on black. This paint has to be done in 800 grit sandpaper to get this paint so smooth, and you'll see every imperfection anywhere in the paint. That's why it will really come out pretty good. And we got our team working on it. It gets frustrating. We're touching a piece. We think we're about ready, and then we're not. So we go over it again. But that's what's going to make this car here absolutely spectacular, and I think Roger is going to really appreciate all that. But we're doing this car here in stages. You guys could check some of the photos that we've been taking on the car. You're going to see after the car gets body work done, and then it's primered, and then it has speckled black all over the car. We call that a glide coat in the business because we put the black all over the whole car, and it kind of goes like a bad paint job with a spray can, almost like you graffiti the car. So of course we kind of get around and have a little fun with it. You spray it all over the place. The purpose of that is then we go ahead and use blocks that are about 12 to 18 inches long with 180 sandpaper, and then we bring it down. Then we go ahead and we primer the car again, and we glide coat it with the black speckles all over the car. Then we do it in a 320 longboard and flatten the car out. That's the trick to getting a car straight, and that's how the trick to making this car here look absolutely show quality, and I mean midnight black with the color that you want, with the sheen, the shine, and the depth. You should be able to see yourself in this car here 25 feet away, and that's going to be one of the tests when we finish this particular car. But you're going to see the whole back quarter panel in this car very straight, and it just feels so smooth done in the 800. It just looks beautiful, almost like you're ready to buff the primer, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now we're doing this car here in some different stages because it's a single color, which I call non-metallic, your whites, your blacks, and your basic standard color. But being the black that we're doing in the car, we can do this car here in stages. So we're going to go ahead and do the whole back half of this car with the doors off, the door jambs. Now the kind of neat part about it is when the stages are is this particular way we're doing it, and then we're doing the jambs on the car. We're doing all the doors. We're doing both doors. We're going to do the inside of the fenders. We're going to do underneath the trunk, and we're going to do underneath the hood. All those things will be done all shot at one particular time. And plus with the back of the car, all done in one way, that's how we're going to do it. After the car gets clear coated, we'll clear coat it. We got to clear coat this stuff within 24 hours with a water-based paint. Now with this particular water-based paint, you can actually clear coat with a solvent base. Now I just went over everybody's heads, but you can go solvent base clear on top of water-based paint. The technology allows it to do it now, and you can do it. It looks absolutely spectacular. It's the way to really go. And that paint was just going to be hard as it gets. It's going to be hard as granite. We're going to do all the inside of these pieces, and then the back of the car. I'm telling you, Roger, this 7-liter is going to be fantastic. The biggest trick really was taping off everything we did because of all the work we saw when you see pictures of the frame being done, the frame being painted. We did that in an Emron-based paint. Now, that Emron was actually an aviation paint because that is very hard and very durable. We felt it was a better way to go about a lot of those underneath parts better than doing powder coating. Not that I'm not sold on powder coating, but Emron really works. It's touch-upable. I think it works really good. So you're seeing one of the stages we're on. We're going back over this car here one more time with the 800, and we'll show you this car here clear-coated next week's show. But I'm telling you, keep an eye on the 7-liter at the shows, guys. It's going to be a #1 car.
Tino's old records on the shelf. I sit and listen to her mama say, today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old rock.
Car of the week is definitely going to be a Ferrari, which you probably already guessed that by the car here in the background. I picked this up recently, and it's absolutely a spectacular and a fun car to drive. After going to Monterey this year, it really encourages me as an investor and a car collector. Ferrari is the way to go. Ferraris were literally king of the hill down in Monterey. Top 10 vehicles sold in Monterey were Ferraris. I highly encourage you, get to Monterey next year and check out everything going on over there. Some of the big secrets of things people really don't know about the 400i, and that's what this car here is. It's a 1984 400i Ferrari. This car here is a 4-passenger car with a 5-speed transmission. Well, the 400i's, when they were sold, they had a lot of things to do to get them into the United States, especially California. Get a car into California has to have all sorts of smog emissions, the catalytic converter, the pump, the reactors, everything you need to make this car here pass and meet California smog regulations. This car has 340 horsepower, and I'm telling you, with a 5-speed transmission, that makes this car drive pretty good. When we talk Ferrari and we talk Pininfarina, we talk style, we talk class, we talk speed, we talk performance, and actually high-quality motoring. They put hideaway headlights in their cars. They took away hideaway headlights coming into the late 90s, coming in the year 2000s. They took them away. Some of these cars had these. A lot of cars try to simulate the type of look of the 400i for the Pininfarina body. And I'm telling you, the sleek lines and the low look, I just really love the looks and the whole way the whole car kind of looks and carries around. And I mean, the whole looks, the same grille. You know this is a Ferrari when it's going down the road. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Let's take a look under the hood because that's what you're waiting for. Check this thing here out. 340 horsepower of a V12 Bosch fuel-injected engine. It doesn't get cooler looking than that. You know, Ferraris always were a high-tech car in a lot of ways and a lot of avenues, and I'm telling you, the high-tech started in 1984 with these. When you come into the Bosch fuel injection system, you have Bosch fuel injection that actually operates on each side of the motor. You can just see the complex to this engine and everything about it. When you see the size of this, you think it's aviation or aircraft, and you think this thing here at about 9,000 horsepower. But no, it's 340 horsepower, and it is a twin dual overhead cam V12 engine. And you have a distributor on this side, you have a distributor on this side, and you got the cam covers here, 2 dual oil filters. This is a huge aluminum engine in this car. They're absolutely very, very fast. Being the type of car they are, being in a sedan, this car right here will go 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. And that's pretty darn quick for a full sedan car. But they have large wheels on them, the good gearbox, good sound. And as far as dependability, I'm telling you, this car here drives and it runs absolutely beautiful. When Ford decided to put out kind of a luxury style sedan type model car, these things have power brakes. And obviously this right here is the smog to meet California regulations and coming into the US. Has an alternator system on it, and of course, it has air conditioning kind of buried in the front of the car. You can see the size of that radiator almost covers the whole complete grille. And they do make some things user-friendly, like checking some of the fluids up here in the front and doing an oil change. It's really not that bad. When you change the 2 filters right here, makes the car here really kind of easy to service. Now, Ferrari did use an alloy wheel. Now, this is the Ferrari designed rim. I think they look spectacular, but it's a 14-inch rim with a large 14-inch tire. You have a lot of circumference on here. This right here gives this car a really good road ride. Look how thin the design of the actual coupe is. The thickness on here is less than 4 inches. That just gives it the quality look. And to build a car that sturdy, that this thin, the design is absolutely spectacular. The doors, are a sedan type door. They all have a frame to them, and does make the car a lot stronger, make the car seal a lot better. This is all done in the stainless steel, and when you open up the door to a Ferrari, they always have that great, fantastic sound. Let's see if we can get a close on it. That's really, the sound is pretty cool. Look at the comfortability of these seats. Now, these are not like your performance cars that you would see. They're really thin and they're narrow and they have a few stripes and air holes for sweat and whatnot. These are, feel how just comfortable these all the way around, all the bottom and the side. Right here, it's a fantastic car to sit in and easy to get in and out. The back seats are done just in the same fashion. And it's very easy to operate this type of car, you know, to put people in the back. And there's actually a lot of room to go ahead and put people in. It's great that Ferrari can go ahead and put in a short 13-inch steering wheel, and of course with the autonomous Ferrari center button is just really beautiful on it. But if you probably notice, if you get into many of the Ferraris or some of the imported cars, when they tuck away the gauges all the way in there and they tuck them back in, they tuck them back nearly 8 inches. Now they're done into a little bit of a cove, so you can see the gauges at all times when you're driving the car. It can be nighttime, even during the day. You're able to read your speed, your temperature, and all your stuff. Now all these type of model cars all have analog gauges. Analog meaning they all actually have a dial. I like the way the center console goes down, and again, you're going to see all the French stitching all the way down on both sides, and the whole car is completely, and I mean completely, sealed off in 100% leather. Again, to emphasize on the lines of the car, the way the back window swoops down, and all the way the lines are sharp and crisp on this car. I'm telling you, when they put gas caps on them, you gotta hide them. They put a little gas door. It just looks just spectacular. You get to the back of the car, and there's nothing I like better than when you see the Ferraris with the synonymous red lights on the back of it. You see them on both sides, the round red, the round amber. The look is just spectacular. You get the prancing horse in there, and of course you have the 400i emblem on it. And the automatics will actually have an A next to the I. This has to be a 400i, would stand for the 5-speed transmission. If it had an A, it would have an automatic. Now the A transmissions, the automatics in these, were all General Motors. They were the Turbo 400 transmissions, so they contracted with GM to put into Ferrari. Believe it or not, that's what they did. And of course the emblem up here said the word Ferrari. But the best, and the best, the neatest feature of these are the exhaust out of the back of the car. I don't need to go any further, and just to point those suckers out, that is what Ferrari is all about. I always hope you enjoy the show. We work a lot of hard hours on doing this, and I got all my special thanks to my editor, S.T.E.A.M. She's absolutely fantastic, puts all this together, and figures she has to travel everywhere we go because we do our events on the road. So when you guys saw everything at Hot San Jose Nights, you went and saw the golf course scenes and met up with Dave Cortez and bringing the Ferrari out and all these other things. My thanks to the show goes really to S.T.E.A.M. She works very hard at doing all this. And the Car Guy channel, we run all your phone calls, all your letters. All you got to do is go to www.carguychannel.com. Send us a note, send us pictures, send us some tips, send us things you guys kind of like. So hey, live life well, God bless you all, and see you the next show.